Hello and welcome to another Doctor Who DVD review. This review is of the William Hartnell, the first Doctor story, the Time Meddler. Features the guy there, and let's take a look at the cover. You've got the monk there, who's preferably the Time Meddler. You've got the TARDIS. You've got a Viking ship. You've got some rocks there. You've got a Viking helmet. You've got the first Doctor. You've got this sort of prehistoric building there. Take a look at the side label. You've got it's a greenish blue. You can't really make it out because of the light. But anyway, they got some pictures from the story. All good pictures there. And then you've got the storyline. It's by Dennis Spooner. The TARDIS lands on the Northumbrian coast where the new companion Stephen discovers a Viking helmet, and the Doctor deduces they must have arrived in the 11th century. Stephen remains sceptical, especially when he and Vicky encounter what appears to be a Saxon hunter with a modern wristwatch. Investigating a nearby monastery, the Doctor discovers further anachronisms. Here was the mysterious monk observing the time traveller's every move, and why is he so interested in the outcomes of the Battle of Hastings? You got commentary, special features. You got commentary by Verity Lambert, producer, Peter Purves, who's Stephen Taylor, Donald Tush, story editor, and Barry Newbury, designer, moderated by Clayton Hickman. Verity Lambert, obituary, a condolences essay looking back over the career of one of Doctor Who's creators. The last 12 seconds, a small part of the episode of 4 is still missing, and this short item uses an off-air audio recording and the original script to place the missing 12 seconds in context. Restoration, a featurette showing the techniques used in the restoration of the story. That's a really interesting special feature there. Strips for action, the first Doctor look back at the first Doctor's colourful comic strip adventures. Verity Lambert, a collection of photographs of the trailblazing producer. Radio Times billings, original listings from Radio Times, PDF format. Photo gallery, production information, subtitles, coming soon trailer, and digitally remastered picture and sound quality. That's the DVD. Inside you've got the Time Meddler disc there, and you've got the Time Meddler booklet with a picture of the monk on it. As for the story itself, as I've said before, this is one of my favourite stories ever, because it's in my top 10, as it were, and it's just a really great William Hartnell story. I highly recommend you watch this and buy it. The picture quality, I can't remember which year it was, but they said the picture quality wasn't that great on it. I think it's fine, to be honest. It's I think they did a good job of the restoration to making it better, and they did. It's just because the monk, he's a really good character. I think because he tries to meddle with history, and I think he tries to prevent the Battle of Hastings from happening. And the Doctor, of course, he doesn't like when people meddle with history. A bit like when Barbara tries to change the ways of the Aztecs, and it's sort of some resemblance to that. But with changing history, and it's a great, it introduces the companion Stephen, and this is the story after where Barbara and Ian depart, and I think it's the Romans. So hopefully I've got that right. And the location filming good in this. The special features are good in this DVD as well. The characters are good. William Hartnell's good, Ian's good. No, not Ian. I meant Stephen's good, Vicky's good. They're all good. Because it's a historical story, and everyone knows that Doctor Who handles historical elements really, really well, and they do. They really, really do. Because Doctor Who, it's just a really, you can do anything you want with it. To be honest, I mean, you can. If you were the writer now, it would be quite difficult to decide where the TARDIS would land next. And it's just this story is actually, for me, really memorizing, because there are just so many scenes in it which I can just remember from the top of my head. For example, when at the last part of episode 4, the Time Meddler is spoilers, by the way. So if you don't want to hear this spoiler, you probably want to turn this video off right now. But if you do that, then I'm just going to say that you should really buy the story. It basically the Doctor sends him like a note saying, I can't remember what it says, but the Time Meddler thinks it's the Time Meddler thinks that there's something in this letter which the Doctor doesn't actually realise, but it turns out the Time Meddler himself has realised. So it's not the Doctor that hasn't realised, it's the Time Meddler that hasn't realised. And then the Time Meddler becomes confined in a cell, because he tries to steal the Doctor's TARDIS, and then he will you see there's a scene where there's just the Time Meddler's head appearing in the TARDIS, and he's sort of saying, "Oh, what am I doing here, Doctor? What have you done?" And giving it all that, and then he is basically trapped because he's in two different places technically. He's in two different places, and so he can't really do much, and he's pretty worthless now. So the Time Meddler is screwed, and that's how they defeat him. And it's a really good plot, and the script is really good. I love the script for this. The plot is actually, it's a clever little plot, changing history from the Battle of Hastings, 1066. It's the Vikings, and he's trying to change it, and it's quite a dark story in places. In a small place it's pretty dark, and but in one of the scenes, the Doctor is, gets trapped by the monk, and turns out there's an escape route within the cell itself, and then he manages to get out. And I love when they do that kind of stuff. It just brings a mystery to the story. Where is the Doctor now? So this concludes this review of The Time Meddler. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really good DVD. I highly recommend it. So see you next time. And this is it really. So goodbye, pretty much. Yeah.